Welcome to strength training for seniors. We'll start with a few minute warm up just to get that blood moving, heart pumping. So we're going to start with a march. Just marching in place, picking those knees up. And then we'll go into a side-to-side step. So step, touch, step, touch. Pump the arms. And then we're going to kick our heels to the front. If you can tap your heel, that's fine. If not, just kick it. So warming up the hip joints. And then we're going to kick those heels to the rear. And we're going to press those elbows back while we do that. Good, and then we'll come back to center and do a half jack. So step to the right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center. Good. Let's do once more each side. Coming back to center, a little squat. Push the weight back in your hips. You look like you're skiing downhill. Good, 2 more. And back to center and repeat. So we'll start with that march. And then our side step. Step and touch. And then kick those heels to the front. And to the rear. Pump those arms back. And then back to center for our half jack. Go right, center, left, center. Good, once more each side. Back to center and squat. Good, let's do one more. Good, all right, standing up nice and tall, widen your feet just a little bit. Bring the hands together, swing those arms up and down. And then keep those arms up, release the hands, and we'll do the wave. A little side bend. And then coming back to center, pull the elbows down towards your waist, bring those arms back up. And then as you come down, bring the arms out to the side, palms up, fingertips to the shoulders. Then hold those fingertips there and do some elbow circles. And reverse. And then open and close. All right, shake it out a little bit. Have your water too. So if you haven't grabbed your water, run now, get your water. Let's grab a drink, and then we'll get started with our exercises. All right. So the first one we're going to do, you will need just a little patch of wall, about shoulder width apart is all you need. We're going to come back to doing a wall plank, only we're going to do it with one arm at a time. So when you come over to your wall, you're going to bring the left hand to the wall. You're going to bring your right hand behind your back. And then you're going to step back a little bit so that your shoulders, hips, knees, ankles are all in a nice straight line. Tighten the abdominals. And then you're going to bend that left elbow, bring yourself towards the wall. Now, with one arm, you're not going to be able to come as far as you could with two. And then straighten back up. So you're just going to bend and extend. All right, here we go. Just using that left arm, and I'm probably a little too far away. Adjust yourself as you need to. Now, as you come forward, don't sink your hips. Keep your back straight. Keep your shoulders parallel to the wall. Good. Keep breathing. About 5 more seconds. Good. Rest it out. Shake out that left hand. And your hand's going to be in about shoulder height on the wall. So make sure it's not up too high or down too low. The important thing with this is that when you come forward, you don't do this arching of the low back. Remember to keep your torso in line with the legs so everything stays nice and straight. Okay, here we go. Right hand on the wall, again about shoulder height. And then bend the elbow as you bring yourself forward. Press back up. Good. Here we go. 30 seconds. And again, you're probably only going to be able to come about halfway to the wall because then you're going to feel your form starting to compromise. You should be feeling this in that upper arm, which is the tricep, the back of the upper arm and into the shoulder. Good. About 5 seconds. Good. Coming back up, shake that arm out. It's amazing the difference when you go down to just one arm from the two. All right. From here, we're going to work the legs. So you'll want to pick up your resistance band. And you may want to have your chair or actually probably just up next to the wall for balance if you need it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to be doing an abduction. So we're working the glutes here. Take your band. If it's a tube, rubber tube, that's fine also. You want to lay it on the floor so that it's pointing out to the left. So when you step on it with both feet, it's to the outside of your left foot. And you want to step your feet at least shoulder width apart. Then you're going to take the end and you're going to put it in your right hand and pull it across. Now here's where you may have to take that right hand and put it on the wall for a little balance. If not, you're going to hold it in that right hand, just hold it up a little bit, because again, that's what's putting the resistance on it. You're going to shift the weight to the right leg and extend the left leg and bring it down. So you're doing this abduction against the resistance of the band. All right, here we go. Just the left leg, 30 seconds. Again, hold on to the wall if you need to. Try to keep your torso upright. Now, if you're having too much resistance, then loosen up the band between your feet. That's why we stand about hip width apart. Good. 5 seconds. Good. All right, rest it out. And then we're going to try that on the other side. So you're going to drape the band down so that it goes to the right. As you step on it, again, make sure you've got at least shoulder width. And then bring the band across to the left hand. Since I'm doing it on the other side, I'm just going to put my right hand on my hip and hold my left hand out. All right, here we go. Lift and lower that right leg. Kick it out to the side. Five seconds. Good. All right, release that band, walk it out, shake out those legs. Hopefully you felt that in those hips. All right, hold on to your band. I'm going to throw mine down, but I forgot we need it. All right, we're moving now to the back. So you want to hold your band a little wider than shoulder width. Now remember, if you have a band rather than your tube, if you do wrap it around your hands, just make sure it's really loose, okay? All right, and then you want to hold it so that, I don't know if you can see, my thumbs are over the band rather than like this, where the band is going to stretch between my thumb and my index finger. You don't want to do that because it'll pinch that skin between, that webbing between your thumb and index finger. So just place your thumb on top like that. So then now the band will come around the outside of my thumb where you have that fat pad. All right, so you're going to extend the arms. Again, hands are about shoulder width apart. Pull the shoulders down, tighten the abdominals, and then you're going to extend. The band will come in towards your chest. So this is a reverse fly. All right, here we go. Ready? Begin. Adjust your band so you've got enough band to stretch, to open the arms up. This is working the upper back and shoulders. 5 seconds. Good. All right, rest it out. Just kind of wiggle it out a little bit. Wiggle those fingers. Grab a drink whenever you need it. We will have a water break in between the 2 rounds of exercises, but always get a drink when you need to. Okay, here we go. We're going to repeat that. So again, keep those abs tight, shoulders down. Here we go. Five seconds. Good. All right. Relax it out. We're still going to use our band. So now we're going to target the front of the shoulders. So we're going to come down or come back to putting the band down. So just like you had that set up before, we're going to put the band down so it's facing to the left, and we're going to step on it with our left foot. So the band is to the outside of my left foot. And then I'm going to gather it up in my left hand. So I'm in this little split stance. Right hand can just stay on your hip, and we're going to do a front raise. Now the band is coming across the top of my index finger. So my thumb is facing up. Good. Here we go. Just about shoulder height, so adjust your resistance. Good. 5 seconds. Good. All right. Bring that left arm down. Shake it out. We'll try it on the other side. So normally we try to rest about 30 seconds between sets. When you're doing different sides of the body, you don't really need to rest. Now, if we were doing another set of that same arm, then I would make sure that you have that 30-second rest period. But because we're going to a different side of the body, you don't necessarily need the rest period. Obviously, if your heart rate's too high, then you would want that rest period to bring that heart rate down. All right, here we go. Right side, begin. Good. 5 seconds. Last one. Good. All right. Rest it out. All right. Now we're going to pick up our dumbbells for some bicep curls. So pick up the appropriate weight for you. And we're going to change it up a little bit. So normally with the bicep curl, the palms are facing up, you're just bending and extending. We're going to do that, but we're going to change up the speed. So palms are facing forward, my arms are extended. So we're going to curl up to a count of 3 and then extend to a count of 4. So we're going slower on the way down. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 on the way down. So 1, 2, 3. You're going to pause each time, and then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So when you slow it down like that, you're actually working the muscles a little harder, especially what's called an eccentric contraction on the way down. You're putting the brakes on the way down, so you're working the muscle a little bit more. All right, here we go. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the way down. Good. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one we're going to do for 45 seconds. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Rest it out. Just put those dumbbells down, shake out your hands, open and close your fingers. So it's really important as we hold on to these things, whether it's the band or the dumbbells. I'm the worst with like putting a death grip on these things. So it's important to keep the blood flowing in your fingers and your wrists. That's why we shake it out in between. All right, here we go. Pick up those dumbbells. We'll try it again. Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more. 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. All right. Rest it out. Shake it out. So the next one we're going to do is a core exercise. Those of you who take yoga will be familiar with it. It's like triangle pose, a little modified triangle. You can hold a dumbbell. You actually don't have to hold the dumbbell. So I'll show you the movement, and then you can decide if you want to pick one up. I happen to have kettlebells, and because it has a handle, the kettlebell is a little easier to hold on to. But it's all right if you don't have a kettlebell. Just you can hold on to a dumbbell too. So what you're going to do is come into what we call our triangle stance. It's not as wide as you normally might be. Your feet, as you can see with me, a little wider than hip width. The right foot's going to be turned out at 90 degrees. Left foot is still facing forward. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the dumbbell in the right hand and just have my hand to my inner thigh. And then I'm going to bend to the right and sweep that left arm up and come back up. So now that you know the movement, if you want to hold a dumbbell, grab the dumbbell. I'm going to widen my feet a little bit. So make sure that your feet are wide enough that you can bend comfortably to the right. All right, here we go. This is called windmill. So you're bending. Should feel these obliques on the left. That's what's pulling you back up to center. Good. So the right arm just kind of skims that inner thigh and just holds on to the dumbbell. Or like I said, you don't need to have the dumbbell. Just let that come down. Good. And one more. Good. All right, rest it out. And then we're going to try that on the other side. So a wide stance here. Again, not as wide as you probably would do triangle, but wide enough that you can bend. All right, left hand just comes to the inner thigh and begin. Bend to the left, right arm up, pull yourself back up. Good, 2 more. Good. All right, let's go ahead and put the dumbbell down, grab a drink. We'll take a minute break here, and then we'll get started on round 2. Just kind of shake it out a little bit. If you are listening to your playlist, which I encourage you to do, put on some music to get you pumped up. Maybe you just kind of dance out, you know, to one of your favorite songs. It's a great way to get your heart rate up. All right, so here we go. Our round 2, we're going to come back to the chest. You want to pick up not too heavy a dumbbell, 2 dumbbells. So the movement that we're going to do here for the boxers in the group is called an uppercut. So imagine your opponent is in front of you and you're going to come underneath and hit them right under the chin. So that's the movement, okay? For this, you do want a little wider stance and you want to keep your knees flexed a little bit, okay? So you're just going to do this cross undercut, okay? And make it deliberate, like you're really throwing a punch. Okay, here we go. Also working the sides of the body, mainly what's called not only the pecs, but the serratus anterior, which is along the sides of the upper chest. 5 seconds. Good. All right, rest it out. Wiggle those fingers. Maybe a couple little wrist curls. Good. All right, here we go. Widen your stance a little bit. Again, keep those knees flexed. Here we go. Also, if it's easier to remember, think of a scoop. Scoop, scoop. Good. 5 seconds. Good. All right. Rest it out. Wiggle those fingers. And then we're going to come back to the legs. We're going to do a little deadlift. So you do want to pick up a dumbbell, maybe a little heavier. Again, I'm going to use a kettlebell because I have one and it's easier to hold on to, but you certainly don't need to. If you don't have a kettlebell, don't worry about it. Just grab a dumbbell. All right, so this particular exercise is called the suitcase because it's going to help you remember what you're going to do. So we're going to pretend we're setting a suitcase down on the floor. You want to keep a little bend in the back of the knees. Pay attention to your hamstrings here. So you're going to start with the feet just about shoulder width apart. Let's start on the right side. So I'll hold my suitcase here on the right side, whether it's a kettlebell, your dumbbell, whatever the weight that you're holding. Could be a jug of water if you have a jug of water nearby. That's like 6 pounds right there. All right, so then what you're going to do, the bending is from the hip. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to bend, see how my back stays straight, as if I'm setting my suitcase down on the floor. I'm going to bring the weight to about mid-shin, no farther. So my back is at about 45 degrees, and then I'm going to pull myself back up. And you can just put your left hand on your hip so it looks like this. I bend like, whoop, set it down, come back up. Again, you're going to lower down to about mid-shin. All right, here we go. Bend, pull yourself back up. So you're using your hamstrings and the muscles of the low back. If you have low back issues, make sure you keep a little bend in the knees, or if your hamstrings are really tight, that the back stays perfectly straight because I'm hinging from my hip. Good. Exhale on the way down, inhale up. Couple more. Good. All right, rest it out. Again, that weight down, shake it out, that right hand. And then we'll try it on the left. All right, so your hand, the palm is facing towards you, and my hand just stays by my thigh. So here we go, left side, bend as if you're stepping that suitcase down and back up. But you're not hitting the floor with that weight. Again, about mid-shin as you pull yourself up. Good, keep breathing. Five seconds. Good. All right, go ahead and put your dumbbell down. And then you're going to grab some, I don't know, not too heavy a weight and your chair. I'm actually going to be using 3 pounds. I could probably do, I'm actually going to do 5 pounds in one hand. I think I've mentioned I've got tendonitis that I tend to baby on this side. So I'm not going to push it. So please modify if you need to do likewise. Listen to your body, you know what's best. All right, so sitting midway in your chair, you're going to be sitting up nice and tall. We're going to do what's called a high row. So again, we're targeting the upper back here. You're going to bring the arms out to the side, have your palms facing down, and you're going to press the arms forward. You stay at shoulder height and back. All right, here we go. So if that's too heavy, please drop the weight. It's better to have it a little too light than too heavy. You can even maybe throw in, if it's a lighter weight, then just throw in a couple more reps. That is better than having too heavy a weight and having an injury. Good, 5 seconds. Good. All right, rest it out, and as I say that, I'm going to do as I say. I'm going to actually pick it up on the left side too, a little lighter weight. And you can do that. Sometimes they start with a lighter weight, and then the second set, pick up a heavier weight. I mean, that's an option too. So, but just please modify if you need to. All right, here we go, second set. Also, if you start to notice your form is breaking, so in other words, you're compromising, that's usually an indication that the weight's too heavy. 5 seconds. Good. All right. Relax it out. Go ahead and put your dumbbells down. We'll pick up our resistance band and come up to standing. Now for this one, I'm actually going to switch to a little lighter weight resistance band. So if you have different strengths of the resistance band, this one you may want a little lighter one. So we're going to work the shoulder. We're doing an exercise called the zipper. So it's the back of the shoulder that we're going to be working. I'm going to turn around to show you how to get set up. So you're going to look at my back. Take your band and throw it over your left shoulder, about halfway or so. And then bring your left arm up, bend at the elbow, like you're scratching the back of your neck, and hold on to that band. Then take your right arm, take it out so the palm is facing behind you, bend so you bring it to the low back, and then hold on to your band there. And then I'm going to extend. So here's where you may want to experiment with how much band you're holding on to. So you just extend each arm. All right, I'm going to stand here so I can see the clock and begin. Good. Try to keep your head up. I tend to look down too. I have to remind myself to keep my chin parallel with the floor. 5 seconds. Good. All right, relax it out. That one you really feel. All right. And then we'll try it on the other side. So put the band over the right shoulder, right arm goes up, grab onto the band. Left hand now goes behind you. And keep it kind of lax in between your hands because you want room to stretch the band. All right, here we go. Press down, pull it up. Good, 5 seconds. Good. All right, release that band, shake it out. And then go ahead and put your band to the side. We will need your chair. So drag that chair back in. So the last one we're going to do, we're coming back to the core. So we worked before on what's called the frontal plane. Now we're going to work on the transverse plane. So we're going to do a little twist here. So we'll start with the left hand on the chair, and then as we get into it, you can decide if you want to try to balance while we do it. So it's an opposite arm and leg. So the weight will be in the right leg. You're going to bend the left knee, bring your arm out so that your right elbow is in line with your shoulder, and then you're going to slide that right elbow over so it's about in line with your left knee. You're not going to bend over and touch it. You're going to keep that back straight and then come back to center. So you're twisting or turning from the waist and just sliding that elbow across. If you want to balance, then just put that left hand on your waist. All right, here we go, 30 seconds. The key here is try to keep pretty much all the weight in that right leg. Then you're not shifting weight back and forth each time. Good, 5 more seconds. Last one. Good, rest it out. And then we'll change sides. So if you were holding on, just walk around your chair. All right, so weight will go in the left leg because you're going to lift the right knee, and then that left elbow comes across. Here we go. So you're turning from the waist, but keeping the back straight. Ten seconds. Good, last one. Good. All right, rest it out, grab a drink, find your little patch of wall again so we can begin to stretch it out. Grab a drink. All right. So as you come over to the wall, we'll start with that calf and Achilles stretch. So placing your hands on the wall, walking your feet back a little bit, then bend your knees so you feel that stretch in the calf and into your Achilles tendon. And breathe. Good. And then walk your feet back a little bit more, maybe about half a foot length, and then begin to straighten your legs. Now, if you have tight hamstrings, you will be keeping a little bend in the knee. You basically just want to feel that stretch. If you're a little more flexible, maybe walking your hands down the wall a little bit, but it's important to keep your head above your heart. So don't drop your chest down, just keep your chest lifted. Just focusing on the hamstrings now. Good, and then bend your knees as you walk into the wall. Turning sideways to the wall, we'll come into a quad stretch. So options here, if you do have a limited knee flexion, grab your chair, put it behind you, and just rest your foot on the chair. Otherwise, if you're okay, grab your shin, ankle, top of the foot. You want to, this might be your left leg, whichever leg you have bent, you want to keep that knee in line with your standing knee so that the knee is pointing down towards the floor. Feel a nice stretch in that quad or front of the thigh. Good. And then change legs. Again, if you have limited flexion, just place that other foot on the chair. You're still getting a stretch here in the quad. If you're okay to deepen that stretch, then holding on to the shin, your ankle, top of the foot. If you're wearing pants, you can grab the back of the pants. Good. Hopefully you're feeling your heart rate come down a little bit. Good, and then release that other leg. Come a little closer to the wall. You're going to shift the weight in the leg that's closest to the wall. Bend that knee as you cross the other foot over the thigh. Now we're stretching out through the glutes. Continue to breathe. Good, and then we'll change legs. I'm going to bring my chair over actually. So you're in this little kind of half squat as you cross the other foot over. Good, and then go ahead and come back up to standing. So again, whichever side you have closest to the wall, put the weight in that leg. Take the other leg and step it behind the standing leg. So you've got your legs crossed. And then sweep that outside arm up. As you bend in towards the wall, then you're going to push that outside hip out a little bit. So feeling a nice stretch in the side of the body here. Mainly what's called the IT band, which runs from your hip all the way down your thigh. Good, and then come on back up, change sides. So now take that other leg, cross it behind the standing leg. Sweep the outside arm up. Exhale now as you bend, push that outside hip out a little bit to deepen the stretch. Good, and then coming back to center, go ahead and release that outside arm down. And then we'll focus on the upper body. So bringing the palms together, or bringing the fingers together, clasp the hands, and then press the palms forward. Keep the shoulders down. As you press, feel a nice stretch between the shoulder blades. Good, release the hands. We'll come back to that sweeping the right arm up, bending the elbow like you're scratching the back of the neck. Options are to take the left hand and just press that right elbow up a little bit more till you feel a stretch here in the tricep. If your shoulder is a little more flexible, then grabbing that right elbow, pressing it in towards your head. Good, and then we'll switch arms. So just even pressing that elbow up, you're going to get a nice stretch in the tricep and into the shoulder. Or if you can, bringing that arm in towards your ear. Good, and then release that left arm, wiggle it out a little bit. And our last one, we want to open up through the chest. So bringing the arms around behind you. If you can clasp your hands, then do that. If not, then press those palms towards each other. Squeeze the shoulder blades so that you're opening up the chest. If you can clasp, then press those hands down towards the floor. Either way, lift the chest, maybe look up to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Take a few breaths. Good, and then release those arms, shake it out. Thank you so much for joining me today. See you next time.